Good. Pleasant good evening again to you guys. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. And of course, let me join you, or welcome you, sorry, to our live that we usually have here every Sunday evening. And, this has become almost a staple. I know in some instances, we always try our best to maintain the live. And the reason for that is because, we often do a question and answer session where we encourage persons to basically ask questions as regards to whatever issues you may be having. Now, usually we would actually do a live where we discuss various health issues. So this evening, of course, there are some things we're going to touch on. We're going to, of course, touch on the importance of cleansing and detoxifying the body. We're also going to speak on the importance of really maintaining and obtaining balanced circulation in the body, because we have so many individuals who consistently have issues as it relates to poor circulation. So many individuals you hear would complain as regards to pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under your feet. So many individuals have issues as it relates to dizziness, lightheadedness, or you may have gone to the doctor and you have been diagnosed as having glaucoma, which we know is high ocular pressure in the eyes, whether it is actually open-angled or close-angled. Or close-angled glaucoma is two completely different things. Now, as it relates to that and what we do at Batson Associates, Batson Associates are specialist consultants in what is known as natural and integrated medicine. And as we continue in our discussion, we're going to actually highlight what natural and integrated medicine really means. We would also help you to understand, what we do at Batson Associates as it relates to, like, for example, the live nutritional blood cell analysis, where you're actually able to look at the body from a natural and integrated perspective. And in doing that, you're actually able to help the client, help you in a better position, to help you, because of being able to understand the root cause of the problem and where this particular issue originated. I remember someone asking a question recently on one of the lives that we would have done, and that is the PMS symposium that we're doing. We actually have one tomorrow, please God. That is usually take place every Monday from 8:30. So that's going to be tomorrow, please God, at 8:30. And we continue in that segment that we did on PMS, which stands for postmenopausal syndrome, and so many women who have serious issues associated with postmenopausal challenges. Now, let me say a pleasant good evening to Ms. Vidya Abdul. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. We are actually on two of our platforms this evening. We are on Facebook, which is Batson Associates Limited, and on YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. So you can always join us there. You can always tag us. You could always follow us. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Ms. Vidya Abdul, Ms. Anne Leger, Dawn Lowe. A pleasant good evening to you, Ms. Kamala Samaru, as well as Ms. Wendy Jack. A pleasant good night to you guys. So, as I said, this evening's discussion, we are touching a bit on the importance of cleansing and detoxifying the body. That star product that we carry at Batson Associates, Santulan, which is a 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. And you find with a product that is that detailed in cleansing and a product that is that easy to use, you could understand why so many persons and why that product has and continue to be a great success, in helping individuals as it relates to cleansing and detoxifying. So we're going to touch on that, why is it important to cleanse and detoxify? Who should really cleanse and detoxify? Because you have so many persons out there who consistently have varying issues as it relates to maybe constipation. You have 7 channels of elimination. from the perspective of anatomy and physiology. And those 7 channels are your kidney, your colon, which is going to be the entire gastrointestinal system, but fundamentally the small and large intestines, because your small intestines is where the most assimilation takes place. Now, in order for one to have a proper gastrointestinal system or a proper functioning gastrointestinal system, it means that you have to have proper digestion or proper assimilation of your food, but you also need to have proper evacuation of waste from the colon. So many persons, when they do ultrasounds, when they do magnetic resonance imaging, or what are referred to as MRIs, persons who would do CT scans, which are computer tomography, which gives you a 3-dimensional look at various aspects of the body, you find that sometimes it is reported that these individuals have what is known as fecal loading. Now, fecal comes from the word feces, and feces, of course, is excretory material that is supposed to exit the body and exit the body within a certain period of time. So you find someone who has fecal loading, or someone who has backed up stool in the intestines, that they're going to have a lot of issues, in the sense that they're going to have serious problems with what is known as auto-intoxication. The prefix auto meaning self, intoxication meaning poison. So you have this situation where you have an auto-intoxication or self-poisoning of the body. And that is where Santulan comes in, that 7-channel detox that is so easy to use. 3 tea bags that gives you a gallon or 4 liters of tea, which you would consume on a daily basis on an empty stomach. An empty stomach, of course, being primarily either an hour before a meal or 2.5, 3 hours after a meal, depending on what the meal is. And of course, that product would give you bowel movement. But the good thing about it is that the bowel movement can almost be specifically targeted in terms of the amount of time that you would require subsequent to drinking the product to actually having to use the washroom. So it means you normally get a bowel movement, my apologies, either 6 to 8 to 10 hours subsequently from using that product. And that in itself, of course, gives you a lot of reassurance, because the problem is sometimes we have persons who actually have to delay cleansing, persons who have to actually forego cleansing and detoxifying simply because they have to take a vacation, or they may have to go on a holiday in order to take a cleanse. And that, of course, could be detrimental, because some of us don't get to go on holidays as often as we would like. Some of us, because of your job, because of your family, you're always busy. So you have a very convenient cleanse here that has the ability to cleanse and detoxify not only the colon, not only the kidney, not only your liver, but all 7 channels of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, the liver, the lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So what does that mean? What would an individual experience by using this product? Or this product rather? The thing is, when you use Santulan, you're going to definitely see a change in your skin. Your skin, yes, we did get Santulan, Miss Jiminy D. We have gotten Santulan. We have Santulan at all of our offices now in Chagonas, first floor Money Talks building in Montrose, Chagonas, which is 182 Montrose Main Road, Chagonas. We also have available at our St. James office, which is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. We also have at Tobago, which is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. We came from Tobago, actually worked Tobago this week. Indeed had a very successful and productive time in Tobago there. Gemini D says amen and amen. Waited so long for it. Yes, and all of us did. And we do apologize for that. It was not any deliberate action on our part. Believe me, we had a lot of ups and downs as regards to dealing with that. We're just trying to get certain things rectified as it relates to even with what we do from the governmental perspective. Of course, we always want to dot our I's and cross our T's and ensure that we follow the law. And that was some challenge that we had. Unfortunately, in our country, they don't work as fast as they're supposed to. And I say that unapologetically. We really need to really do what we need to do. And some of our state enterprises and our government offices don't really work as fast as they should. And that was one of the things that we had to deal with. But of course, growing from strength to strength, ensuring that we're able to actually bring those products for you. And Miss Wendy Jack said yes, she got hers in St. James. I in fact actually steeped mine and it's now ready, so I'll actually be starting my Santulan from next week, because I, like you guys, were actually waiting. It's a product that I value. It is a product that I've used and I have successfully introduced to a lot of our clients over the past 15 years. And I mean, there was a change in price, and I think one or two people were a bit perturbed, but I mean, yeah, a product that stayed one price for 15 years, that just goes to show that, of course, we have reached the stage when the price of the product had to increase, because of course, everything has gone up, including, the ability to bring that product here. So, I always, and that's why I always start my programs and end my program rather with, that saying, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. Simply because you can't put a price on good health. The men who have, and women who have been successful in life, you always try to be, and I am a perfect example of that. I work very hard, and I make no apologies for that. I try to work smarter now than harder, but in all instances, hard work is always required to get certain things done. And the good thing about that is that in working hard, like most people do, it is vitally important that you take care of yourself. Unfortunately, there are some people who do not know how to do that, and they think they know how to do it, unfortunately. And I say this with all levels of humility, because I know what it is to see people suffer unnecessarily. There are a lot of things that we're going to be doing in the near future as it relates to wellness and wellness nutrition. People who know me know I'm a huge advocate of nutrition. I'm a huge advocate of supplementation, simply because of my years of experience and my training in integrative medicine, in allopathic because I do have training in Western medicine. My training in hematology, especially integrative hematology, blood analysis, playing a significant role in that. Where if you really understand how important a healthy blood system or circulatory system is to the body, you cannot be healthy by having an unhealthy circulatory system. So in other words, if you have unhealthy blood, you are going to be unhealthy. Blood is the river of life. Blood is what is used to transport, or it's the medium for transportation of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, phytonutrients, hormones, and different things to the cell. And the thing is, if you have unhealthy blood, you're going to have an unhealthy cellular nutrition, and unhealthy cellular nutrition is going to lead to organ problems, and of course, on a grander scale, problems associated with the body. I mean, that's simple common sense. You don't have any physics or astro. There's no rocket science in that. And that is one of the things that Santulan has the ability to do. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Mr. Raymond John. Good evening to you, sir. Miss Elizabeth Nandal says, my dear doc, good night. Note, I am almost there with the torn cartilage. I am so excited to go David this week. Doc, is senior citizen body of mine has tremendous weight loss due to ulcerative colitis. I need some advice. Okay, well, definitely, and what I could say, Miss Nandlal, and you would have followed the regime that we would have recommended as regards to that torn cartilage. So, I congratulate you on your success, and of course, the consistency that it would have taken you in using the products, using the recommendation in order to bring about healing and bring about improvement in that situation that you have there. As it relates to a friend with the tremendous weight loss, rather, as it relates to ulcerative colitis. The thing is, ulcerative colitis is an inflammatory bowel condition. And if you understand inflammation in the body is good when it is controlled, when it is calculated, when it is the way that it is supposed to. Inflammation becomes dangerous when inflammatory response, so chemicals like cytokines, prostaglandins, run rampage through the body and cause rampage, in the body, where they cause so much problems. Because what inflammatory chemicals do is try to kill you while you sleep. I don't know if you've ever heard about something known as visceral fat, right? Visceral fat is organ fat. So you have different types of fat in the body. The most dangerous is visceral fat. And visceral fat is organ fat that creates high levels of inflammatory chemicals in the body. Now, the thing is, where you have high levels of inflammation, excuse me, as I mentioned, you're going to have a situation where sickness now gets an environment that is conducive to its propagation, for want of a better expression. So that simply means that where inflammation abounds, you're going to have a lot of sickness, you're going to have a lot of disease. Perfect example is people who suffer from what are known as autoimmune conditions, where it is said that the body attacks itself. That is not entirely true. What it is an indication, as I mentioned, of high inflammatory response in the body, or high levels of inflammation. So, for example, lupus is an inflammatory condition, ulcerative colitis as well, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, fibromyalgia, even diabetes is an inflammatory bowel condition, or an inflammatory condition rather. Lupus, I feel constantly sorry for persons who are lupus patients, and I always tell persons I'm not in the politics of medicine. I really don't have time for nonsense. It's all about helping persons get the results that they're looking for. So the thing is, if you're helping someone or bringing someone to a particular level of awareness, because the unfortunate thing is a lot of persons are not aware of even what they're supposed to be eating on a regular basis, which is why we have so many nutritionally deprived individuals. And the thing is, if you are nutritionally deprived and you have high levels of inflammation, then you're going to be very, very sick. And that's where you have persons who are termed as, you are told as being complicated. The thing is, you're not complicated, you just don't know what you're doing. Or the people around you don't know what they're doing. And it's just a matter of understanding now where nutrition falls. Now, as we continue our discussion, I will highlight to you how important nutrition is, how important hydration is. You'll observe a product in the back of me here called Alkagen water, which is a premium alkaline water that we carry at Batson Associates. Now, I've been an advocate of alkaline water for a number of years. It started off with, personal members of my family becoming ill with gut problems, someone very, very close to me. And that was one of the methods that I used to bring about or start healing and bringing about change in the body. Now, you would hear I speak a lot of nutrition. You would hear I speak about clinical nutrition. I speak about medical nutrition, simply because those nutrition in itself has the ability to do so much for the body. What we need to know and understand is what nutrition we need at particular points in time. And that is where Batson Associates comes in. Thank you very much, Ms. Elizabeth Nandla. She says Alkagen water is boss. Mr. Raymond John says, I got my Santulan and regeneration circulation tea. Good, I'm so glad to hear that. Ms. Elizabeth Nandla says, thank you for all the advice in my condition and my body. My body is very weak. So I would imagine body meaning the individual that you're making reference to. Yes, your senior citizen body. Yeah, because they're going to be very weak. Because remember, if you have improper malabsorption or lack of absorption as it relates to the gastrointestinal system, there's a reason why your gut is referred to as your second brain. I don't know if you ever heard that. So the human gut, or your intestines, your gastrointestinal system, is often referred to as your second brain. And the reason for that is because how intelligent the gut is, how important that what is referred to as the microbiome. Your microbiome is that entire ecosystem that exists in the gastrointestinal system or exists in the gut. Now, gut health is very, very important because, as I mentioned, if you have malabsorption or improper assimilation of food in the gut, and you also have problems associated or issues associated with proper elimination. So as I mentioned at the genesis of the discussion, a lot of individuals do not eliminate waste well. And if you have fecal loading or you have remnants of feces in the intestines, you're going to have problems. Individuals who have, women, for example, who have problems with fibroids, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cyst, endometriosis, all of these women are at one disadvantage, and the disadvantage is they have serious fecal loading and constipation problems. And that is going to cause what I mentioned before, auto-intoxication. The prefix auto means self, and intoxication meaning poison. So it means, from in layman terms, that the body is basically poisoning itself. How could you bring about healing? How could you not have headaches? How could you not experience issues associated with dull skin, low energy, insomnia, depression, uh, brain fog? All these things are consequences of improper elimination or improper evacuation of waste. So those of you, we do have Santulan, sorry, in stock. That tea that cleans and detoxifies your 7 channels of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. And the thing is, with that Santulan, it is available at all of our offices. Keep in mind that symposium that will be taking place at our office on Sunday, the 25th of August, 2024. And that symposium, of course, is going to be taking place at our head office, which is 182 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. And look out for the registration link. We're going to be actually doing some advertising and some promotion of that very soon, so you guys can really look out for that. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are live on our Facebook. On Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And, we're looking forward to your comments. We do have a number of persons on the live with our Facebook. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good evening to Miss Elizabeth Nanla. She said, Alcogen water is boss. She says as well, your gut is your second brain and your calves are your second heart. And Doc, you're quite correct. Miss Alison Bridgeland, a pleasant good night to you. Blessed night. Maureen Tull, good night to you as well. And someone also asked the question. There was one question. Oh, Miss D. Alexander says, when will you be back in Tobago? I should be back in Tobago, God's willing, at the end of this month. What I would advise you to do, for the sake of efficiency and effectiveness, and I'm going to put it here now in the footer of the live, they're going to see it. That office is located at the Triangle Building. What I suggest you do is get that telephone number, which of course is located right there, 226-4553 or 312-4248, and you can actually call the office and find out, because Tobago office has to operate a bit differently until we have our full-time blood microscopist consultant there. We do not have a full-time consultant in the Tobago office, and Dr. Batson's job spec is simply a consultant. I do not do blood analysis. I do not do any type of testing work, again, and that is to ensure that I'm able to be more effective and efficient in dealing with individuals. What we're going to start to do for Tobago as well is we're going to have to do a lot of remote work where I am concerned, because I intend to try and be healthy and live as long as I possibly can and help as much people as I possibly can. So in order to do that, I cannot be overworking myself. So, we have put systems in place. I know a lot of persons say, Dr. Batson, we want to hear from you. We need to sit in front of you. And I respect that and I understand that, but we could also do that remotely. We have a very large television. You're going to see me. I will have access to all your reports and I could speak to you. But we have to do that in order to be effective and efficient, because I'm one person, and we have now, God's willing, by the end of next week, 5 locations, 4 in Trinidad and 1 in Tobago. And there are a number of other things that I need to do. So, it's not like I'm casting you aside and you're not going to get the service and the results that you're looking for. It's not that, You are going to get the results that you're looking for. I assure you of that. I run a very, very tight shift. We run a very tight shift here. And, we want our clients to get the results. I have very well-trained consultants who have worked with me for over 10 years. And in the next 2, in excess of 7 years. So these are very well-trained individuals. They are very seasoned in what we do at Batson Associates, especially Mr. Vialva. We have Mr. Green, we have Ms. Ramdan, we have Mr. Bastamante, and we're going to be adding more persons to that list to ensure that we help you individuals get the results that you want. I know everybody, believe me, you know, it's a matter of the protocol. I've been doing this for over 16, 17 years, officially in terms of registration, business, that type of thing, about 14, 15 years. And I've become very good at my job. I was always good, but I've become great, thank God. And to God be the glory, because I believe all the knowledge and the enthusiasm that I have for health and wellness, is not something that I had of my own volition. I believe this is what I was supposed to do. And I believe in helping sick people. I mean, I always rise to the challenge when I get a case that is a hard case. What I often tell persons with the human body, you have to understand that your body, especially certain organs, and I've said this before, your kidney, for example, is an organ that you do not play the fool with. It is a very unforgiving organ. It is an organ that really cannot take too much licks. And if you do certain foolishness, your kidney is going to pay the price. Especially if you're a hypertensive person who doesn't mind your business. You have to understand, if you are hypertensive, you should have some sort of dietary regime. You're supposed to have some sort of dietary consultation. You're supposed to have some sort of exercise, some sort of activity as it relates to your daily life. People have to understand that moving, a body in motion remains in motion, a body at rest remains at rest, right? That's a law in physics. And the thing is, the human body is the same. Your body is designed to move. So if you are not in the realm of someone who is crippled or someone who has been damaged, where your mobility is seriously challenged, and I'm not speaking about people who are arthritis patients, because if you have arthritis and you're just lying down, you're willing yourself to a very early, uncomfortable death, because you have to move. You have to move. When you stop moving, you are going to put your body in a situation where it becomes more difficult for you to be healthy. Your body loves movement. Your gastrointestinal system, your musculoskeletal system, which comprises your bones, your tendons, your ligaments, that system is dependent on movement. It is dependent on gravity. Do you know that astronauts, when they go in space, because of the lack of gravity that it has there, they actually lose 30% or a high percentage of their bone density? So that is why astronauts or people who live in space have to exercise, and they have to do like weight training and that type of thing to maintain the density of their bones, because if they don't do that, they will actually end up with brittle bones up there. That's just a perfect example of the way the body was designed, the way the body was created, and of course, the importance of maintaining balance and maintaining bone density. At our integrative clinics, one of the things we do at Batson Associates and at our Londonville office, that's where we're going to be doing a lot of stroke and diabetes work. We're going to be doing a lot of work as it relates to persons who have issues with problems associated with gastrointestinal issues, with musculoskeletal problems. We're going to be doing a lot of work with persons who are stroke patients, persons who have cardiovascular problems. And that's why that office is a ground floor, first floor level, ground floor, so that, if you have mobility challenges, you could actually visit us there, especially the stroke patients. So look out for that. Miss Marlene Nabi, she says, night, Dr. Batson, a pleasant good evening to you. Miss D. Alexander says, for what you just said about problems with lack of fecal removal and the poisoning of the body, besides having fibroids and the other things you mentioned, could that cause weight loss or weight fluctuations? Of course it can. But you wait, because remember, if you're not evacuating waste properly, D. Alexander, you are creating an environment that is conducive, as I said, to auto-intoxication. So if your cells are being poisoned consistently, they're going to be very lethargic. They're not going to be able to clean themselves. They're not going to be able to have proper oxygenation. Cells function well when they are properly oxygenated or well oxygenated. So it's vitally important, again, that with those that situation, or in an existing situation like that, you're going to have problems with weight fluctuations. Also hormonal imbalance challenges. Keep in mind, ladies, that special presentation that we're going to be doing tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. That's our hormonal disruption program that we're consistently doing, where we're actually helping women who have problems with serious hormonal disruption challenges to really visit us at Batson Associates, really understand what is causing their problems. You know, you have a lot of women who actually have serious problems associated with hypertension. And it has nothing to do with hypertension. It has to do with those hormonal or that hormonal disruption issue where these women have serious problems where they do not have proper hormonal function. And as a result of that, they now end up in situations where they are hypertensive. Always keep in mind, have you ever heard of the term secondary hypertension? Anyone? If you have heard about it, that's good. There are a lot of people who have hypertension and they don't know what type of hypertension they have. There's also something known as pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary circulation is above your heart. Systemic circulation is below the heart. So someone who has high pulmonary hypertension or has pulmonary hypertension, it means that that person has serious ischemic issues. They could have suffered TIAs, which are transient ischemic attacks, which are mini strokes. They could have also suffered serious heart problems where their heart is now enlarged as a result of that constant strain on the pulmonary circulation in the body as a result, excuse me, of having pulmonary hypertension. So it means that people who end up with strokes, you'll realize now we have a lot of people that just get in strokes. When you get a stroke, and a lot of the times when people get strokes, they don't get one stroke. They do not get one stroke. So usually you get 3 or 4 strokes in succession. So think about that. And let me tell you something. If you think heart attacks are expensive, you do not want to get a stroke. Strokes are very costly. You know why? Because the rehabilitation work that we have to do on a patient, not even counting my area of specialization. We're talking about your Western medical doctor, because you're going to have to work with a Western medical doctor. I do not deal with any stroke patients unless I have a Western MD doctor on the team. So that's one price. Then you're going to have my price or our price as an integrative practitioner. Then you're going to have the supplementation to bring your body back to where we would like it to be. And then, of course, we have the physiotherapy aspect. And those of you who have ever worked with physiotherapists, believe me, physiotherapists are not cheap. And the reason for that is because physiotherapists have to go through the grueling task of bringing back your movement or your ability to move. That's going to cost money. So why don't you be proactive as opposed to being reactive? That's the problem with a lot of people, you know. You cannot put a price on your health. I most certainly can't, and I will never will. I had an experience in my life some months ago, and I always tell people it's not something I hide, that I got very sick. And the reason why, and that's something that doesn't happen to me because I try my utmost to take very, very good care of myself. But I was overworked. I was a bit tired. I was under a lot of stress. And of course, I'm a human being. And then I went and I worked somewhere and I got COVID. And I got very ill, very good. I could have lost my life. And, you know, I had to make some decisions. And I tell people that when you are ill, you require different doctors for different reasons. Always remember this. Always remember. Whether you come to Batson Associates or not, you know, that's fine. But understand this. You need different doctors for different reasons. We are trained in integrative diet ethics. We are trained as integrative dietitians. And believe me, if you think a dietitian good, you have come and have a conversation with an integrative dietitian. That's why our clients get better. That is why our clients reach to the point where even their medical doctors have to reduce their medication, or in some cases take them off of the medication because of the improvement that they would have gotten. And that is what they wanted, because a lot of the times we work with patients who have serious kidney problems and their medical doctors sent them to us because they couldn't continue taking some of the medication because of the damage that it was doing for their kidneys. So you all need to understand the practicality of this and forget the politics and the nonsense where everybody feel that, you know, medical doctors could criticize people like myself and tell you don't use this and don't use that, when they should not, because that is not your area of specialization. If you are a barber, stick to cutting hair. A barber or someone who's involved in barbering cannot school a chef on how to prepare a meal. You cannot, because that is not your area of specialization. So just like I would not school, if there are certain aspects of surgical intervention that is needed, that is not my area of specialization. I would put you on to a surgical specialist in the team of people that I work, or the team of consultants I work with. That is not my area of specialization. And people have to understand that Batson Associates, one of our strong points, one of my areas of strong point is nutrition and clinical nutrition. And that I am a master at it. Master, and I say that humbly with no apologies. To God be the glory. But I am good at my job, and we are good at helping you. So if you want help, and you really, really want help, then give us a visit, give us a call. There was someone that came to me when I was in Tobago. I look forward to at least this person passing a month on our protocol, because I know they're going to get better. I know they're going to get great results. And I look forward to that. You know how good it feels when you get a client who come to you who had numerous problems, and the client tell you, hey, Dr. Batson, I'm feeling good. You know, Dr. Batson, thank you, I'm sleeping. I dealt with a client of ours who had problems with postmenopausal syndrome some months back. And when she came to us, she was in a complete and total mess. When I tell you mess, I mean mess. This woman, you could see that she doesn't sleep. You could see mentally she's exhausted. You could see she looked terrible. She looked really, really bad. And I'm not saying that to be facetious. It is a fact. She looked terrible, and she knew that. And that's why she came to us. If you see that individual now, you know what she said? She said, Dr. Batson, thank you very much. How could you not want to help people when that is the experience and the results that you have? These products that you see here are not products by guess. And there are numerous others that we're going to bring and we're going to introduce into the market to help people. There are so many people who out there who are suffering unnecessarily. Get the Santulan. Tell your friend about the Santulan. Because let me tell you something, that product is a master product. That product has helped so many individuals, which is why when we were low on it for so long, so many people since got frustrated, including myself. But as I said, it wasn't our fault. There were circumstances beyond our control that we had to deal with, and after God, we are dealing with it. But the product is a good product, and it helps individuals. Easy product to use. You could ship that product anywhere in the world. That could go in an envelope and go to your family, your cousin. We have clients who send that to their family in Canada and all over the Caribbean, because of what it has the ability to do. It is a 7-channel detox. It cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So even our international clients, we are working assiduously to be able to ship that product to you anywhere. And, you know, look at reducing the cost, because when you have to ship certain places, you know, there's a lot of logistics to work with, but I tell persons you cannot put a cost on your health. Laurie D. Alexander says, for what you said about problems with, yes, I dealt with that. Regina Murray says, good night, Dr. Batson. Whoa, it's been a while to get you live. I stopped getting notifications from Batson Associates, but finally, thank God. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Jiminy D says, what is the kind of hypertension, doc? Oh, that is the pulmonary hypertension. I'll go in a bit more on that in a little bit again, Jiminy D. Ms. Nicola Heard, always a pleasure to have you. Hope all is well with you. And Jiminy D says, yes, 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 you are very good at your job. Thank you. Yeah, so the type of hypertension, excuse me, we're referring to is pulmonary hypertension. So as I was explaining to you before, as it relates to circulation in the body, you have pulmonary circulation, which is above the heart. You have systemic circulation, which is below your heart. You also have what is known as microcirculation. So in instances like that, what you find is that the hypertension, where you have high blood pressure, remember you have arteries, right? Your circulatory system is designed or mapped out almost like a tree, the trunk of a tree and the tree itself. So you have the trunk, which is very large, that is your arteries. Then you have the veins, which are the smaller branches, and then you have the capillaries, which are the even finer ones. Now, the thing is, when you have pulmonary hypertension, it means that you have hypertension in the arteries above the heart primarily. And as a result of that, you now have serious issues associated with your circulation in the pulmonary space, which is circulation above your heart. So it also means that cerebral blood vessel circulation, which is circulation in the brain, is also compromised. So it is very easy for you to end up with kidney problems. Do some research and you will see that the majority of dialysis patients were persons who have very bad high blood pressure. For years, in some instances, didn't know about it. In some instances, never took care of themselves, never looked at their diet, never looked at their lifestyle, never looked at becoming active, and simply just took medication and continue eating badly. Because you know there are people who take medication and still eat badly and take more medication when their blood pressure go up or when their blood sugar go up. You all know people do that, right? So I'm saying all of that to say for you to understand that you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to make decisive changes. And that is where Batson Associates comes in, because we are actually able to work from the root cause of the problem. So make that appointment, get your blood analysis, get your magnetic resonance analysis scan. Ms. Nicola Hurd says, yes, all is well. So nice of you. Yes, my dear, I'm so glad to hear that. So, you know, take advantage of that. We also have the circulation regeneration tea. This is actually one of my favorite products, simply because I love what it does for the whole aspect of circulation. So you have individuals who have problems with hypertension. Now, you know what hypertension is, right? Now, as I mentioned, you have different types of hypertension. So apart from pulmonary hypertension, you can have what is known as primary hypertension or what is known as secondary hypertension. A lot of individuals have secondary hypertension, and that means that the reason why you have hypertension is actually because of a primary reason, which has given you a secondary consequence or a secondary response, which is now hypertension. Good. A lot of doctors don't tell people that. There are people walking around just taking hypertension medication and you don't know what the hell you have. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So what you're really treating. And you know, one of the things that Batson Associates is going to hold you accountable for is your actions and the decisions that you make. People have to understand that. You're very welcome, Gemini D. Gemini, is it? Sorry, yeah, D. You have to understand that there are consequences for your action. Who said it best? Do not be misled. God is not one to be mocked. You are going to reap what you sow. So if you continue with a very lethargic, inactive, you know, you're never active, you're not doing anything, you have a sedentary lifestyle. We know we all busy, people have jobs, they have children, you have traffic. God, we have traffic, a lot of traffic, and we know how much hours you could spend in traffic. So your time is limited. We understand that and respect that. But it is better to make some time, and if you have to do 10 minutes of brisk walking, go on your treadmill, ride your bike, 10 minutes a day, it will save you in the long run. It will save you. As I told you before, strokes are not good. If you are a hypertensive person, you are in serious danger, because high blood pressure is very, very, diabetes is bad. Eh? And if you're a bad diabetic, you basically end up like a block of ice in the hot sun. You all know me, I'm very plain spoken. I say it like I see it, I say it like it is. But let me tell you something about hypertension. You do not play with high blood pressure. You are no match for hypertension. It will leave you in the dust. You can become blind instantly with hypertension. You can get a brain aneurysm. You know what a brain aneurysm is? Brain aneurysms are usually fatal. The surgery to try and attempt to mitigate some of the issues that a brain aneurysm will give you is very costly and very dangerous. Why you want to end up in that situation? When all it would require is to take a proper check and start taking care of yourself. But no, you're busy. You have to take care of children, you have to take care of the house, you have to take care of the car, you have to take. But when you fall down after God, that time when I got sick, I understood what it is to stop it now. Everybody was like, you need to stop it now, you need to take some rest. And I did take my rest. And after God, I recuperated quite well. I did start back a little hard with training because I lost a lot of weight and that type of thing. But it was an experience, it was a learning experience. As I tell people, I take very, very, very good care of myself. Very, 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 very good care of myself. I don't play that. I practice what I preach. A lot of these products that you see here I use, I don't go without this water. This product called Nerve Restore is one of my favorite products, and it is because it is a product that helps you deal with stress. And one of the things we want to do for a lot of persons is corporate wellness, where we actually go into companies, we go into organizations, we go into churches. So those of you who have your church, because you know, a lot of you put in us the poor pastor in a lot of problems because the pastor don't have to take care of the flock and then you have to take care of your sickness. How much prayer do you pray for healing? And of course, as I mentioned before, the God himself say that whatever you're going to reap what you sow. So you can't be praying and asking the pastor to help you and eating foolishness to go back and get a heart attack again or go back and get arthritis or pain. That ain't making no sense. Who time you wasting? Your time, the pastor time, or God time? Who time? Somebody time you're wasting. So make it make sense. Right, guys? Laurie D. Alexander said, Dr. Batson, before you came back closer to month end, would there be anyone available before to do the blood analysis? Yes, there would be someone. And that is why I said, Laurie D. Alexander, get that number. I have the number there for you. The office is at the Triangle Building. You can call Latoya. Latoya Nurse is the young lady who works there with us, and Latoya will let you know when we have the consultant. You know, it's August. We always try our best, and that's one of the reasons why I have to do remote training, remote work with Tobago as well, because of that air bridge, which is always, always, always problems. But, you know, we try our best and work around the challenges. But you could just liaise with the office, Ms. D. Alexander, and when the consultant is back up, we will let you know. That is going to be this month here itself. We're working assiduously on that and putting together and organizing everyone so that we are able to work, you know, collectively and, you know, sensibly, effectively, efficiently in bringing the results for our client. We want you guys to get results. We want to ensure very soon we're going to have a regular consultant in Tobago. We're going to have even more presence in Tobago. Tobago has been a lot of work for us for the years that we've been over there, you know, constant challenges. And that's because of the air bridge and whatever the case may be. But as I said, you know, there are clients there who have gotten so many results. You guys got your Santulan. Of course, we have large supply of Alcogen water. Make sure that you're getting your Alcogen water with your Santulan, guys. The results are quadrupled when you use your Santulan with your Alcogen water, especially if you're not accustomed drinking your correct amount of water, which is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So that's something that you need to take very, very close attention or pay very, very close attention to. In addition to that as well, your blood analysis and your magnetic resonance analysis scan, which is one of our key components that we use in terms of really helping our clients and determining from a perspective of diagnostic. And the thing is, we often send our clients for additional testing, whether we have to get, excuse me, a CBC done, if we have to get specific aspects associated with determining different things. We might want to look at your ESR, which is your erythrocyte sedimentation ratio, which of course is going to give us a key indicator of the level of inflammation in your body. At the genesis, of the conversation, one of the things I mentioned is why inflammation is so dangerous and detrimental to the body. Once you have high levels of inflammatory response in the body, you are going to stay sick. You cannot get better. And I said, that is why I feel so sorry for lupus patients and people who are diagnosed with things like MS, multiple sclerosis, and all those autoimmune conditions. Because you have to understand that with autoimmune conditions, you have to balance those 7 channels in the body. The 7 channels of elimination in an autoimmune or a person who suffers from an autoimmune condition are all in a mess, all at the same time. Your liver is in a mess, your kidneys in a mess, your gastrointestinal system, you are in a lot of mess. And I say that respectfully, but plainly. You all know me, I don't mince words, I don't have time for that. Okay, you have to understand the importance of balancing this body. That is why with integrative medicine, remember the purpose of the human body is to do what? To maintain homeostasis or balance. That's the main purpose of the human body. So if you are out of balance, or you're out of homeostasis, or you're out of equilibrium, it means you have either too much or too little of something. You either have too much or too little. And that, of course, is where Batson Associates comes in. Let us help you to feel better. Again, we do have our Santulan in stock. Look out for that great product, that 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Look for our circulation regeneration tea, really great product as it relates to circulation. So those of you who have pins and needles, cramp in your calves, burning under your feet, exceptionally good for persons who have problems with hypertension, high blood pressure, whether you have primary hypertension, secondary hypertension, or pulmonary hypertension. What I would recommend if you have a serious hypertension problem is do the 3-in-1, that 4-in-1 special with the blood analysis, live blood, dry blood, magnetic resonance analysis, your food detox, and of course your executive consultation to really help you get the results that you're looking for. Very important. Results are what we are looking for, and results are what you want. Good. Keep in mind those locations. Keep in mind that special symposium we are having. We are having two. We are having one at our Chagonas office, and that's the 21st, the 25th, my apologies. That's Sunday, the 25th of August, 2024. And that's going to be taking place at 182, number 182 Montrose Main Road in Chagonas. That's our head office. Keep in mind those specials that we have as it relates to our circulation regeneration tea. I believe we'll be actually doing that for this month, as well as the special that we have on our balanced circulation, that product that helps. You already realize we have a lot of circulation products, and that's because Batson Associates works with a lot of diabetics. So as a result of that, you often find that in working with a very high diabetic population, that we often try our very best to ensure that we help you with your circulation. We also have that Nerve Restore product, also on special men, prostate support. We have Digestive Restore, our blood sugar complex, women's formula, great product that helps women who have problems with things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. Of course, don't forget your Altogen water. Remember, after oxygen, the most important requirement for the human body is water. You need to hydrate. Your hair depends on hydration. Your skin depends on hydration. Your health. 70% of the human body requires water, proper hydration. We all went to school. If we were to divide 100 by a third, 2/3 is what? 66 and 2/3, right? Your body is 70% water. Your body is more than 2/3 water. Why are you not drinking water? Are you out of your mind? That's the reason why a lot of people end up sick. You know me, I say it as I see it. I don't have time to waste. Okay, guys, so if you're serious, if you want help, if you're serious about your health and you want to get improvement, give us a check, give us a visit. Those telephone numbers again and location, they are at the bottom there. 222-8261. That's 222-8261. We have a lot of open clinic days coming up, so feel free to give us a visit at any one of our locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chagonas. We are also located at Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James, you can get any of those numbers from the numbers that are listed there, which are head office numbers, which is 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Keep in mind as well, we are located, in Davie. Davie is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie, as well as Tobago. Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. A lot of new things coming very soon for you guys. A lot of things coming to help us to understand and really focus on health and wellness. Remember, one of the things I always tell persons as well, look out for that symposium. So that symposium, Sunday, the 25th of August. Guys, make it a date. Don't be late. We have that registration link. Call and get registered for that symposium that Batson Associates would be having. A really great symposium that we would have. And of course, Keep in mind as well, we'll be doing one in the Port of Spain area. That's actually going to be at Lady Chancellor. We're just concretizing and finalizing the date. It is going to be taking place in September. It's going to be a Sunday as well, but we just have to confirm the date as well where that is concerned. Also, keep in mind our lectures on female hormonal disruption, which is going to be taking place. That program is going to be tomorrow evening from 8:30 to 9:30. So same time as this program starts, and then I have our regular Thursday programs where we'll be joined with DJ Mamu on djmamuradiott.com. That's going to be taking place from 2:15 to 3:15. And of course, we're going back to our friends at Synergy with the very honorable Harvey Boris, who affords us the opportunity to do that program on Synergy. And that's going to be taking place from 5 to about 5:15. Okay, so look out for that. A lot of information on health, a lot of information on assisting you to take better care of yourself. Very important. And, you know, really giving us the opportunity to really help you to help yourself. Okay, guys, you have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. Always a pleasure to be in your company. Keep in mind, again, those telephone numbers and location. Keep in mind that special that we have. And regardless of the test that you have, you know, a lot of persons come and say, you know, you bring your blood test and you bring your scan, but we need to do that blood analysis and do that magnetic resonance analysis. So from our integrative approach, from our holistic approach, from that approach where we're looking at the body from its root, from its base, from its foundation, we have the ability to make certain observations. And by making those observations, we are better able to help you to get the results that you're looking for. Good. Now, again, keep in mind those telephone numbers and locations. Check out our Alkagen water. Check out our circulation regeneration tea. Also, check out that Nerve Restore, that product that helps persons who have issues with sleep, persons who have issues with depression, anxiety, women, PMS. You know, check out our integrative PMS clinic and all those other integrative clinics that we at Batson and Associates promote to assist individuals to get better results and to get improvement in your health. As usual, it's always a pleasure being in your company. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Look out for those telephone numbers down there, 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Santulan is in stock, full stock. Make sure and get your Santulan together with your Alkagen water. That cleanse does wonders. And if you use both of those things, you are going to get some really good results. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. Have a safe week, you and yours, and look out for Batson and Associates. Yours truly, Dr. Batson, tomorrow evening with that hormonal disruption segment. And of course, very soon, we're going to have a lot of other segments with our consultants coming soon. As usual, take care of yourself. God bless. And remember, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Take care, guys. God bless. Check us out tomorrow, 8:30, where we go through hormonal disruption in women. Take care, guys. Miss Dawn Lowe, Miss Alison Bridgelal, Miss Maureen Tull, Miss Gemini D, Laurie D. Alexander. So, Miss Alexander, make sure and call those of you in Tobago. We have not forgotten Tobago. Spread the word. Batson and Associates is back in Tobago. We up and running, and we getting you guys the results that you're looking for. We have some really good testimonies in Tobago. You know, a lot of women who had problems with infertility, a lot of arthritis testimonies, persons who had problems with diabetes. So help us to help you guys. Take care again. God bless and enjoy the rest of your night. See you guys tomorrow, ladies. Share the word, spread the word. All these women who have problems with this hormonal disruption, insomnia, depression, anxiety, you're not sleeping well, vaginal dryness, moodiness, hormonal disruption, you have problems, you're crying, weakness in your legs. Ladies, join us on that live tomorrow, Monday, the 5th. That's the 5th of August. We'll be discussing hormonal disruption in women, and that's taking place right here at 8:30. 6:30 p.m. Take care again, guys. God bless, and do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.